Welcome back to JohoTests, the podcast. In this episode, we're super excited to be joined by Frankie Seegers, who is an Operations and Solutions Director at QOT Solutions. Frankie brings a sharp insight into how AI is transforming quality assurance, accelerating test creation, boosting accuracy, and freeing testers to focus on more complex problem solving. Most importantly, she explains why embracing AI isn't optional. It's the key to staying relevant and advancing your career in a rapidly evolving QA landscape. Welcome, Frankie.
Wow. Thank you for that intro, Palisa. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
So we have a bit of a ritual in JohoTest,
Yes.
where we ask our special guests to let us know what quality means to them.
Okay,
what
awesome.
the word quality means for you. Yeah.
So I think quality for me means it needs to solve a specific problem.
Okay.
So does it solve a specific problem? So for example, because I know, and also having listened to a couple of your podcasts, you know, the concept I think of like Rolls Royce and all of these fancy things come up. But I think for me is this thing going to solve my problem
Sure.
and solve it well? So that's what quality means. And maybe I use the example of do I want an ambulance when I'm having a heart attack or a Porsche 911 Turbo? I think I prefer the ambulance at that time. Yeah.
Just not the Porsche.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. No,
Yeah.
that's great. Okay, regarding today's conversation, can you just give us a background of how you then got exposed to AI and what was the combination of AI with software testing? I know you have a software testing background. How did you bring those two worlds together for yourself?
Yes. So, okay, my software testing background, I've been in software testing for almost a couple of decades now. And I think where AI sort of intersected was a couple of years ago when ChatGPT first of all came around. And I'm actually one of the directors of a quality assurance company. And one of the things that we do very regularly is we have what we call a free beer Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So we get together on a Friday. The beer is just a lure to get our staff to the office. Yeah. And then we would do like showcases. What's innovative? What are we seeing out there? What are the trends?
Yeah.
So this monthly event has been really great for me because it means that I was going and scouring the internet and finding out what was happening, and our staff were doing the same. So when ChatGPT came out, this was a big sort of like, what is this? How does it work? You know, how are we going to utilize it in our world? And that obviously sparked a lot of spin-offs in terms of various different AI tools and things like that.
Sure.
And so for the last couple of years, I've been trying to investigate what does AI actually mean to testing, which is difficult. You know, there's not actually a lot of literature that's out there.
Yeah.
So I actually put myself through that ISTQB AI course. I thought, okay, let me get some exposure here. It was very eye-opening. So I know there's two. There's a Gen AI and then there's just an AI course. Yeah. So I did the AI course first.
Sure.
And that was great because it taught me a lot about machine learning, neural networks, all of these kinds of things. And also very daunting.
Yeah.
Because I suddenly realized, oh my word, how do you test something when you don't even know what it's going to do? You know, there's no expected result.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was the start of my journey and the start of my interest. And so I did that a couple of years ago, got my ISTQB AI a couple of years ago, and then started looking at all of the latest technologies that were coming out that were specific to development as well as testing. So like, for example, Cursor AI, it's actually an IDE. It's not really a testing tool.
Yes.
But how does that help us with our automation? How can we use ChatGPT to analyze our specs and things like that? And our staff have been playing around tremendously. So we're getting a lot of exposure from our staff. They're showing us what they've come up with, what they found online and how they're using it in the testing world, and it's been quite exciting. So
It
that
sounds
was
like a wonderful journey. This is, I
Yeah.
think it even sounds like you're still exploring this thing, and it keeps growing the more you guys say, get information on it and try to keep learning on this topic. Yeah,
absolutely. I think we're very far behind, to be very, very honest with you. So I think that you can't not be exploring AI at the moment. If you're not doing
100%.
that, I think you're going to be left behind dramatically. It's not like test automation.
Now, I think my other question regarding this is, who is AI testing for? Who should be looking at getting involved in using and understanding how accessible and how helpful the AI tools are? Should it just be the QA people, or should it be the broader project team?
I almost feel like there should be like a course developed for AI in the SDLC,
Yes.
so that everybody sort of gets an idea of where you can use generative AI to assist with the process. And also when you are implementing AI technologies like machine learning algorithms and things like that, how all the various players within the SDLC get involved in that, because I think at the moment there's so many misconceptions about AI that it puts a risk to sort of everybody's jobs. We have had this year at one of our clients, they let go a large portion of the development team because they were bringing on an AI tool.
Okay.
And for me, it was incredibly silly. Like I was completely shocked because I think there is a huge misconception. AI is an enabler. It helps us speed up things. It doesn't replace.
Yes.
So the moment you're seeing people bringing on these tools and going, oh, well, now we've brought on this AI development tool, we can let go of 5 of our developers. I just feel like, okay, you don't know what you're doing.
That's so
That's a
heartwarming.
terrible, you're making a terrible decision here.
Okay.
Because the thing is, when you implement AI technology, there's a lot of different things that need to happen. You're still required to understand who it is that you're developing this project for. It's people.
Yes.
The engine itself is learning, can become very full of biases. It needs to be overseen in a very different way. So I think that what needs to happen is you shouldn't be letting people go. You should be equipping them to evolve in their roles to then develop and grow and nurture and maintain AI. So yeah, I think everybody should be getting exposure to AI and what it means to them.
This is so great because we've all heard the fact that we're going to be replaced by AI. People are going to lose their jobs because of AI. And you're saying, no. Hold back on releasing people. Actually equip people on learning about AI and the use of it to better enhance their way of testing these tools or testing these products, instead of just getting rid of people into saying this machine now will start working for us. Yeah,
absolutely. We've been through this how many times before in history? If you think about the Industrial Revolution and how workers were replaced with machines, but then like those same workers needed to then maintain the machines and things like that. So it's just your role evolves. And currently, I think the danger in terms of AI implementations is the fact that people are not overseeing these implementations. So they are evolving. We don't know whether they are staying within legal jurisdictions and boundaries, whether they are becoming biased or not. It requires repeat testing, repeat oversight. And I truly do not feel like that's happening currently. So we just sort of, there was a movie when I was younger, Ken. I'm not that young anymore, so this isn't great. So I'm going to give away my age.
Look, I know this is audio. You look great. For someone that you say I'm not that young anymore, you look very young.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. But no, there was a movie. It was called Lawnmower Man. And I think we're seeing like the movies come out over and over. It's the same sort of concept. Where the machines take over.
Yeah.
And I think that that's our role as testers, is to make sure that, I mean, these are amazing, remarkable assistants, and they can equip us to just have a higher quality life. But we need to make sure that we are keeping them in touch with the fact that they are helping the human race, helping enable us a bit more. And unfortunately, I really don't think that there's that level of oversight, and that a lot of these implementations can evolve in ways that are not high quality, if I'm going to be very diplomatic, evolve in probably unsavory ways, so we've got to be careful.
Then I wanted to ask, I mean, even the fact that you're saying, I recall you saying that we are quite behind in terms of the approach and considering what we can allow AI to help us do and the stuff we could learn on AI. What risks do companies or even individuals that are not involved in this move or don't consider it or don't know how to actually navigate it? What are the risks a company could foresee, or even individuals, just people that are in the quality assurance space?
Well, I think in terms of individuals, I think you'll get left behind. I've always said, and I know we were just chatting about it just now, that being in software testing, you have to be a salesperson because you're constantly having to, sell what it is you're doing.
Yes.
I feel it becomes even more important with the adoption of AI, because you have to explain to people how, it's enabling you, but AI doesn't have the context, and you still need to be representative of the human race and ensuring a product is fit for purpose and things 100%. Like that. So I think that if you don't understand what AI is capable of, you can't have those very educated discussions with people so that they understand how your role needs to evolve to fit in with these implementations. So bad decisions get made. So you get, it could be dangerous in terms of holding on to your jobs. And I also think that, it's becoming so fundamental in terms of the way that we do testing. So using AI to analyze specifications, to help us keep up with the speed of delivery. I do think that even with us becoming agile, we're not keeping up with how quickly we need to deploy software.
Yes.
I mean, especially you look at like Google, who are deploying almost hourly.
Yes.
How do you do all your regression testing?
Within an hour.
Yes. So we need to adopt AI technologies in order to keep up with that delivery. So if you haven't got that on your CV, I think you're doing yourself a huge disservice. And then just in terms of companies, I don't think that companies are going to remain competitive, because the competitors are going to be able to deliver a lot quicker
than what you
are, because they've enabled their delivery via these various AI technologies, as well as using those machine learning algorithms to make sure that their products are actually highly a lot more competitive and appealing more to their clients, or their customers, their consumers, so they're selling more. So I do think that the risks are that you lose your competitive edge completely as a company, and as an individual, well, you're not equipped with the latest technologies, so you're being left behind. And so, you're not able to remain relevant.
That's true. Okay. And now, considering going back to the individuals then, so somebody actually wants to go into AI and start implementing AI within the quality assurance role, are there any specific qualifications or predetermined qualifications that you need to have in order to take on AI or learning AI as a tool? And I also just wanted to ask, do you know of any organizations that people can get training for this?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned to you, I really found actually going through that ISTQB AI was great, because I think that there's a lot of AI information out there, but
Yes.
it's not really necessarily relevant to testing.
Mm.
So you can go and learn a lot more about AI,
Yeah.
but not how to test it and things like that. So absolutely, that ISTQB AI was fundamental to me because it made me realize, I hadn't even thought about, like, how do you do regression testing if every time you execute a script, this machine learns and then changes its behavior? How do you even write a test case if you don't even know what the expected result is, So that was really great as a starting point for me. And then subsequent to that, then the ISTQB then came up with the ISTQB Gen AI. So I would actually recommend maybe doing the Gen AI first, because the Gen AI is very specific to using generative AI for analysis.
Yes.
For automation. It teaches you a lot about different tools and prompting skills and things like that, because that's how your skill set has to change. You have to learn how to prompt the AI to give you the best results. You have to learn how to use a specific tool in order to create test cases and automate them. So that ISTQB Gen AI is a fantastic course, a good place to start. We offer training for that at QOT Solutions.
Yes.
Otherwise, you can go online and you can Google different service providers who can do that. ISQI is great. So they do, and also the nice thing about ISQI is they actually, you can book your exam and you can write it within an hour, so there's a lot of, and the other nice thing about ISQI is you get your results straight away.
Yeah, the turnaround time is great.
Yeah.
Just to add on to that. So, we've spoken about the risks that a company could endure, or individuals that do not participate in considering AI and software testing in particular. What misconceptions do you think you've heard or been exposed to about AI, and if there's any within AI and software testing, and if there are any misconceptions, could that be the reason why people are actually not as eager to go into that space and actually find out about it?
Well, I think obviously the biggest misconception, and we've spoken about it quite a bit, is the fact that AI will replace you. It won't. There's no way. And if people are making those decisions to replace people with AI, they've already made a huge mistake. And unfortunately, we are seeing that, there's definitely regret, and we have to re-employ people. It's like anything, as soon as test automation came about, manual testers thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be replaced now. It's not that. It's like, change your skill set. There's always need for manual testing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing here. So that's definitely a misconception. And then the other thing is, and I wouldn't call it a misconception, but it's a fear, maybe a fear, is other than the being replaced. Sorry, it's my fear as a huge advocate of quality, is that people become over-reliant on AI and they stop using their brain. And I've seen that with a lot of our younger people. Even my own daughter, where they've got homework to do and they plug it into ChatGPT and they don't think, and then it's time for exams and we haven't learned anything. So this over-reliance on AI is a problem, especially because everybody, for some reason, and there's a concept called automation bias, but where everybody trusts that what AI is generating is the truth, and it's not always the case. but we trust it. So it's also a bit of a fear of mine. But I think the biggest misconception is definitely that it's going to replace you. I think the only thing that's going to replace you is you not equipping yourself. Then you will be replaced by somebody who has equipped themselves and can use AI to speed up their delivery, and as a result, they have more time to actually do proper analysis and use proper testing techniques. Because I can tell you for a fact that since Agile came along, people do not have the time to actually do proper functional testing. The majority of the test cases that we see now are like probably more geared towards user acceptance testing. People just don't have enough time to do proper testing. So that for me has been like the biggest godsend. It's like, okay, great. the AI can spit out sort of your happy path test cases,
Yes.
few edge scenarios,
And
but then
you'll give us time to start thinking creatively
Yes.
to actually try
Yes.
to check the quality of this and bring up negative or corner cases within these products that we're building.
Yes.
That is so great. Yeah.
And also consider what is fit for purpose for the actual customer, you know, because that is not going to come across with AI.
Yes.
AI is not human. It cannot tell you whether a human being is going to actually like this. You know, it's up to you to I think make that assessment.
That is so great. And actually that is going to give us a lot more human interaction with these products, because if we're going to take away the mundane, repetitive work and give it to being done by the AI tools, then like you're saying, it'll give the quality assurance people the time to actually sit on what they're supposed to be doing and thinking about these things from a customer perspective. So when we start speaking about being customer focused, we're truly doing it because of the assistance of AI in this regard. Yeah.
And actually be excited about our jobs again.
Yeah. You know? It's true. Because sometimes it has become quite tedious. Yeah. And I think you've spoken about Agile a lot. In the waterfall methodology, how do you think then AI and software testing is going to work, or is it working currently?
Sure. Now you're opening a can of worms. Because I think, you know, we've got close to about 15 clients, and all of them are various different flavors of Agile.
Sure.
And I would say the majority of them are still very waterfall. You know, it's just like we're just trying to deliver a little bit quicker.
Yes.
So I think it's the same as Agile. You know, I think in fact it's much more helpful in a waterfall environment, because you can literally take your entire business requirement spec and put it into ChatGPT and say, please, can you analyze this and give me all of my test scenarios? And then I think this is where it gets a bit difficult, because then people hear this and they go, oh, yay, you know, now we don't need testers, you know. But then this is where we come in. So we then would go and review those test scenarios, and then go to add all of our edge or corner cases, do our boundary value analyses, our equivalence partitioning, all of that kind of thing, start to really get into the nuts and bolts. And it was actually quite interesting, because I sat recently with an entire forum of trainers.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Gen AI stuff, and we were playing around with some of the tools, and we were using some tools to analyze a few specs and then comparing the tools. And the interesting thing is you find that some of these scenarios that come out from the generative AI are complete nonsense as well, you know. So I think for us to just blindly accept them is a bit
is a fault. Yeah,
is a bit of a fault. But yeah, so I think I'm going on a little bit of a soapbox here.
We love it. I mean, I'm just taking in all this information, and I could ask you a million questions right now. But for the purpose of the conversation today, I think you've covered so much. I think I've learned so much. Even for me, I'm quite inspired to start looking at AI. Just for today, I just want you to, if there's somebody who is trying to get into software testing or in the tech space, and they are quite intimidated by AI. And I mean, never mind the fact that I'm just trying to get into tech now. There's like new moves, there's other ways of doing stuff. How would you encourage them to keep going? Or should they even continue considering this? Or should they just be like, it's too much now, let me leave it and go find something else?
Oh man, I think it's so exciting. I think that they should absolutely get into this. You know, I think what's very, very important is if somebody's starting out in the testing world, they still have to go through basic testing fundamentals.
100%.
You know, as I keep saying, and I will continue to say it until the day that I die, AI is an enabler.
Yes.
It helps, it reduces our workload and stuff, but it's not going to put us out of a job. We're still required to understand our jobs end to end, you know, wholeheartedly. So starting out, I would absolutely still recommend you go through testing fundamentals. You understand how to test without the AI. And as a matter of fact, that's how we do it in our graduate program.
Yeah.
We test the fundamentals. Once they've done an entire end-to-end, you know, analyzing the spec themselves, extracting test cases or requirements and doing everything, Then we go back and say, great, now you've done all of that,
Yes.
but now let's introduce, say, a ChatGPT or a Claude,
Mm.
and let's see how it changes your world. And now the different approach you'd have to take, because now you're almost analyzing the spec.
Yes.
You're getting Claude to give you your scenarios, but then you're going and analyzing those scenarios and then trying to put in the missing pieces.
Yeah.
So yes. So I think fundamentally doing the basics, then starting to learn about all of the different AI technologies. I did want to say earlier, it's not so much about getting the certification.
Yes.
It's more about being put on a course that explains to you how AI fits in, at what point in your testing life cycle you use what tool. So, okay, I'm going to start off with a Claude or a ChatGPT, and I'm going to use it in this context.
Yes.
And then when I get to execution, then I'm going to use either like I'm having a complete blank right now because I'm on the spot, but like a deep check or a Cursor AI. It's my favorite browser, for my automation, or a Copilot or something like that.
Yes.
So I think going on these courses just sort of helps you learn where and when to use AI, and where and when to use that big brain of yours that, got you into this industry for a reason.
100%.
So yeah, so I would say absolutely get involved. It's so exciting. There's so many cool technologies out there.
Yes.
Join as many forums as you can. Join things like the Seegers special interest group in software testing. See what's happening. Make sure you stay sort of on the pulse. There's also another, it's called Sticky Minds.
Okay.
It's also a nice newsletter, so you can read about what's happening in the industry and things like that. And just don't run away.
Yes.
Don't run away, just it really is so exciting, and it's so cool to see what AI is doing.
Yeah.
It's very, very exciting.
Yeah.
And I think what everybody has to realize is AI is still software, and software always needs to be tested. So we are very much needed. We just have to change the way that we think and change our techniques that we're using to test things. So
that is so great. Yeah, I think, that's my biggest takeaway, to say, don't be frightened. Get in there. There's so much still to learn. I mean, there's room for growth, and just to get in there, there's still a lot that we can do. Thank you so much for today. I just wanted to know, where do people find you? I mean, with all this information you've given us, surely someone's going to be like, where's this lady? I'll just need to ask her a bit of questions from the conversation.
Oh, shame. That's awesome. I'd love to speak to people. I really enjoy people, and I do think that that's what's driving our industry forward.
100%.
Not the technology, it's the people.
The people, yeah.
So yes, I'm on LinkedIn, and also if anybody wants to drop me a mail, I'm frankie@qotsolutions.co.za. Otherwise, they can come visit me on my island. Always happy to have people there. And a pina colada, we can talk testing and drown our sorrows. I'm kidding.
There's other lovely things happening in testing. But thank you so much for today. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hope to join and have a lot more great speakers on the big topic of software testing. Keep the conversation going, and we'll see you